friends skydived. Skydove? What's the, I don't know, what's the past tense? What's up? Hey, hello everyone. Wow, so today is a very exciting day because if you haven't seen my last video, which I'll have up here, I am going to be talking about my skydiving experience. So yeah, before I went skydiving, I had a lot of questions, so I went to YouTube, went on Google, and on YouTube I didn't really see that many of these kinds of videos where someone talks about their experience, so that's what we're doing today. Yeah, so a little bit of background. My friends and I booked this skydiving trip about a month ago, so we dove on June 24th, Sunday, online through their online reservation system, and I actually learned about this place via Facebook because of a Facebook ad, and then I don't know. I don't really know what came over me. I've never had, the urge to skydive or anything like that. I just saw the ad and I was like, oh, that'd be something super neat for the summer. This would be so cool to do. And so I asked some of my friends and they were down, and then whoop-de-doo, we bought tickets to go skydiving, which is super, super crazy. And I still can't even believe that this happened yesterday. I'm just in shock. And yeah, so I feel like if I hadn't been, a little bit spontaneous or crazy, I guess, that day, wanting to buy these tickets, I feel like I would have never have gone skydiving because, like I said, I never really had that urge. I don't really have that urge to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, which is so weird, so crazy to even say. So I think if you even have the want to go skydive, just buy a ticket, you know? So yeah, for us the tickets cost $149. That was, we had to pay a $50 down payment when we bought the tickets. So with the down payment, I was like, okay, I mean, I can waste $50 and just back out, but that would make me a wimp, and I don't really want to waste $50. So the day of, we paid $100 extra to make it $149, and then I bought the video package, which was also $99. So in total, I paid about $250 for this jump. So I think that's pretty average for a skydiving jump adventure. That was buying the tickets. We bought them online, like I said, and then we had a month to wait, basically. So with this month, I was very nervous. This month leading up to the jump yesterday, I was having difficulty sleeping. I was really afraid about dying, and I think that was my biggest fear for the jump. But I was really, really nervous. I would be going to sleep at night and then in bed thinking, what if the parachute doesn't open? What if I'm falling and then splat, I hit the ground? Things like that really, really freaked me out. So yeah, fear for me was the one thing that was going to hold me back from doing this jump. I was really, really nervous. In the week leading up to the jump, I was doing more research, so Google, YouTube, like I said, and just watching other people's videos, which I think really, really helped, so I could see all these people jump out fine, they have it recorded, it looks like a ton of fun. There's nothing really to be nervous about. If you Google anything about skydiving and safety, it's actually safer to skydive than it is to drive your car on the road. Just statistically, skydiving seems scarier because we are less familiar with the sport. I didn't have to go through my fear because alas, I am here right now, but that's something that I was very, very nervous about leading up to it. Day of, our jump was scheduled for 11 in the morning. I like the morning time hours because you can wake up and then you just go to your thing. It's not like afternoon where you're gonna be nervous all day, things like that. So I really like this morning hour. And so this place, like I said in my vlog video, is an hour away. So I got up around 8:15, got ready. Around 9:30, my friends came over, we drove over, and I was not really that nervous in the car because I was like, okay, it's an hour car ride, haha. Once we started driving on the country back roads, I started to get a little more nervous. We turned into the place park, got out, did registration, and then we sat for another hour, and we saw 3 or 4 skydiving groups. They would get on the plane, go up, and then we would see them all safely come back to the ground in their parachute. So I think that's something that really helped subside the nerves. Yeah, so then finally our names were called and we got the harnesses on. They just told us once we jump out, cross your arms, push your waist out, and head back. And that was it. No video, nothing else. So I was like, oh, okay. That's I can do that. I don't think I mentioned it, but yes, we were going tandem skydiving. So we were with an professional skydiver person that was strapped to our back. So harnesses on, we were ready. We waited like 2 minutes before the plane came up, and it was me, Jordan, Amelia, and then some other guy on our plane. Got on the plane, and when we were on like the landing strip tarmac ready to fly off, that is when I started to get really nervous. It was so scary. I was like, oh my god, it is actually happening. Like, no backing out now. Plane lifts off. I'm like, oh wow, this is like a normal airplane, like Southwest, whatever. We're going to take off. Except this time it was different, and this time I was so nervous because this time you are jumping out of a plane. It's not like, oh, I'm going back to school in California, we're gonna have a safe flight. It's like we're purposely getting on a freaking plane to jump out of it, which was honestly mind-boggling to me. Like, why would we ever want to do this? This is so crazy. And we are flying up. I was already nervous when we were taking off, getting increasingly more nervous as we're going up in altitude. This is actually happening. Like, I am getting on this plane and I am going to drop from 11,000 feet in less than 10 minutes. That is just crazy. It was hard for me to wrap my head around at the time. And even now, I can't believe I did this. Like, that's freaking crazy and amazing. Doing it, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever put myself through. This is so stupid. Why would I buy this? Like, I'm paying to have myself tortured, basically. Flying up, I was very nervous. Flight up was maybe like 10 minutes. So 3 or 4 minutes in, Jordan and her instructor were sitting on the ground, and then everyone else was sitting on benches. And then the guy like opens the door window thing that we all would jump out of in a few minutes. And I was like, holy crap, like, it's only been 3 minutes. It's time to go and jump out already. Like, and like you can see the ground getting smaller as you're going up. That was scary. He opens the door prematurely just so like, oh, Jordan can look out. But we didn't know that. He like pushes and moves Jordan closer to the door, and I'm like, oh my god, it's almost my turn. Like, this is so scary. And words can't even describe, I feel like, how I was feeling. I was gonna poop myself, vomit on myself, pee on myself. TMI, thinking to myself a lot of curse words, obscenities, things like that. He opens the door. I asked my partner, like, oh, it's time to go. Am I ready? And he's like, no. I was like, oh, because all my things were still a little bit loose. I'm like, I'm gonna freaking fall out of my harness and plop to the ground and die. The guy just opened the door so Jordan can look out, like, look at the ground getting smaller, look at all the farmland, stuff like that. We start going through clouds and things like that, which is cool. We keep flying up like 5 more minutes, and then all of our instructor people start like tightening all the harnesses. You're sort of semi-sitting on your partner's lap on the way up. I don't know, I didn't really notice it, but you aren't like on their lap, you're just sitting in front of them, and then they strap you on and you're just sitting like 1, 2 kind of thing. It's not really weird. I didn't really notice that it was any weird, probably because I was too nervous, but Jordan really felt awkward during that time, she said afterwards. Jordan's partner opens the door for the second time, and now it is actually time to go. We've reached 11,000 feet. I can't even believe it. I was like, no, this can't be happening. Jordan gets up and go. I'll have that clip like here because I just love watching that clip back. It's so crazy and so weird to think, okay, 1 second she's like here with us, and then the next second she's plopped out of the plane and gone and flying down to sudden doom. So she gets up, she jumps out, and I am like, oh my god, you know, there is definitely no backing out now. I am jumping out of a plane in like 2 seconds. So my partner starts to stand up with me. We get to the door. The instructor pushes you out, basically. You don't have to do anything. First 2 seconds, I feel like falling was really bad because you can spin, you're sort of getting adjusted. You might not be like facing the ground. You could be upside down, sideways. So we were sort of sideways and like have to adjust to go facing the ground, which was sort of scary. And just the first 2 seconds, it's like, you know, I'm falling out of a freaking plane. That's amazing. So that was the scariest part. And then after the first 2 seconds, it is like very peaceful. I don't really know how to explain it, but when you are free falling, it doesn't feel like you're falling. You don't get this, or I didn't, but a lot of people that I've seen don't get this drop that like, oh, on a roller coaster, if you jump off a building, you get a drop. But I didn't feel that in my stomach. After the first 2 seconds free falling, it's honestly, words can't even describe it. It's so beautiful, so peaceful, so calm, so serene. You're just like floating is a word that a lot of people use, and I can agree. Like, you are literally just like floating because you are so high up, you know, 11,000 feet. You're probably 10,000, 9,000, whatever feet, going 120 miles per hour. The ground, you're so high up, the ground isn't getting smaller. So you don't feel like you're falling because the ground wasn't getting any bigger. So it doesn't look like you're going towards the ground. It just looks like you're staying in place. but in your mind you know you're not like staying in place because you can feel the wind and stuff like that. I would 100% recommend it. Like, that feeling is such an unnatural high. I feel like you can't get that high anywhere else, and it's such an amazing feeling. I would definitely recommend, like, if you've wanted to do it, if you're thinking about doing it, do it. I feel like it's so cool that us at the age of 20 have gone skydiving. Overall, I had a really great time. I don't know if I would do it again. I sort of have that feeling like, oh, I want to have that free fall feeling again. Yeah, I don't know. That was my experience skydiving from beginning to end, all of my thoughts and feelings. Overall, an amazing experience. Like I said, go out and do it. You won't regret it. I mean, I had an amazing time. I was super scared of it, and I think you should do it. So yeah, that is the video. My name is Rachel, and I am signing out. That was really fugly, but yeah. See you all next time.